It is that amazing hour and segment where you get to, call into the show and request for your favorite throwback song, music, whichever genres of music that you have loved in the past and you want to listen to. And then we will press play for you. And like I said last week, I want to believe that you already penned down your favorite song that you want me to press play for you. And moving to the next hour of the 2 o'clock is the Afropop hour. And Afropop hour is the segment where we bring you X trends, all that is trending in the world of X, social media, and then plus the fun question. Will always be here for your contribution and for your listening pleasure. And today's fun question is going to be an amazing one. As usual, we learn and we teach each other on radio. And then moving to the next hour, which is our entrepreneur hour. And I love to always challenge you that if you are doing or selling a business, or you're doing a business, whatever it is that you are doing, and you've been a part of this family and your business is not on air on our entrepreneur hour segment, then you are missing, because with just 20,000 naira, your music, your properties, your businesses, everything that you do will be on air for more publicity. And moving to the next hour, the real estate. On that segment, we also have our guest who will come, to see how we can bring some offers, amazing estate, land, investment offers for you to just make sure that you invest right. Okay. And in between the Sunnyside show, there's definitely going to be news update, news bulletin here and there, just for you to be abreast with the trending in the country and diaspora. So keep it locked in, don't touch that dial. This is the Sunnyside show. Holy Ray is in the studio. Let me catch my breath, and when I come back, we will continue the conversation. My guest is already seated. This is Eagles 102.3, your radio experience you can count on. You can also join me visually by joining me live stream on Facebook and on TikTok. On Facebook and YouTube, I beg your pardon. On Facebook and on YouTube, Eagles FM Abuja. Drop your opinion right there, Holy Ray. We'll also take it up from there. But first, when I come back, we will keep up the conversation. And today we're looking at unity of labor. Keep it locked in. Don't touch that dial. Welcome back. This is still Eagles 102.3, your radio experience you can count on. My name is Holy Ray. And of course, like I said before, I went on that quick breather. We will be having a conversation with our guest joining us all the way from the Generation for Societal Change. And I have with me in the studio Mr. Ugo Joseph. Ugo Joseph, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Holy Ray.
And like I said before, we are going to be having a different concentration today. And today on this first segment, we are looking at dignity of labor. Yeah. So have you ever wondered what our founding fathers envisioned when they crafted our Constitution? Today, we are diving deep into one of the most powerful yet overlooked principles in Chapter 2 of a 1999 Constitution, the dignity of labor. So this isn't just a legal tax, but then this is the blueprint for transforming our nation's mindset about work, respect, and national development. Welcome to the show. And keeping this conversation, your input is definitely needed, because we cannot be having this conversation alone. This is a segment and a topic that has to deal with us as individuals and also as a nation. So we need to know. And previously on this segment, we talked about religious tolerance. If you can remember, last week Wednesday was an amazing segment because religious tolerance, and a lot of us, me too, learned from that segment that we need to respect each other's religions, opinions, whatever you want to do. I don't have nothing to do about it, but just respect that. So today we're looking at dignity of labor. Now, talking about that, right?
Right.
Let me bring you in. What is your first note when you think about dignity of labor?
Thank you so much, Holly.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Ugo Joseph from Generation for Societal Change, GSC. So, talking about something pretty interesting, and that is dignity of labor. Interestingly, this is in our constitution again.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes
yes, it is.
These conversations, we don't just come up with some of them. A lot of us do not know that our constitution enshrines certain values that core values that Nigerians should be known to live by. And so dignity of labor is very much one of them. And it is basically your respect. It's basically your respect for every honest work that a person does. Every honest work a person does deserves respect, whether it's a cleaner, whether it's a refuse person, whether it's a doctor, whether it's a lawyer, whether it's an engineer. The respect should cut across board. We should not classify certain persons as to be more important than the others. Basically, even your cleaning staff is very important to you in your office space and in your house, because without the place being tidy enough, you'd have to get into all of that and you get so exhausted. We can just go on and on. So dignity of labor is having respect or recognizing that every honest work or labor deserves respect. Thank you.
Deserves respect. I love how you landed that last one, because I know that as far as we are concerned as human beings, we just have this way of downgrading some other person's work. We feel like, okay, you're not matched up to the standard. For instance, you'll be like, okay, this is the kind of work you do. A lot of persons tend to overlook, especially people with handwork as plumber, but they don't know how much plumber person work. A few days ago I had electricity issues. I don't know what happened, but you know how it is when you're seeing light in your neighbor's meter and then you don't have electricity. You'll be like, what is happening?
And you never rest.
My brother, it is even better if there is no electricity at all in the estate, but not to talk of your own compound, and you're seeing this other meter is beeping and yours, I changed all the 3-phase. I don't know what was the problem, what is happening, where is it coming from. Then I check this phase and check. Do you know I had to continue to the extent I have to even get another cutout to bring extra phase to my meter, just because I wanted to have electricity at the same time everybody was enjoying electricity. Now that apart, why I said this is because the young men who I always call to come help out with this, right? He is also electrical, like an AEDC staff. You understand? But he does his own side hustle. Now, in less than 5 minutes, he has fixed your problem. You have nothing to worry about. Then I was moved by how passionate he was about it. Even if it has to do with him entering your ceiling. How you get to that point now where they will not say, okay, I have to enter your ceiling and go and check what the problem is. He does not hesitate, even when he's dressing properly. And I'll be like, are you sure you can do this? He'll be like, mama, it's my work. I have to do this, is where I feed. And in less than 5 minutes, he's gotten 5-10K for himself. So obviously you cannot overlook people who genuinely hustle. Legit hustle. Do you understand? But then, dignity of labor, according to what you had said, right? It is very, very important that you respect other people's work and other people's opinion to do whatever they want to do. Do you understand? Because every handwork, everything you do deserves honest and truthful recognition, whether is your friends or some of us will be like, those days when we're in school, we have to categorize the kind of people that can ask you out. You'll not be like, if you're this kind of person, no, I cannot, all those kind. I don't want to go detail of that. Now let's come back to our conversation this afternoon. Dignity of labor. I think it's high time I opened the phone lines also, so that while we're keeping the conversation, we can have our guests join us. Okay. Now let's know what you think we are not doing right when it comes to recognizing dignity of labor in Nigeria. Your question is, in Nigeria, what do you think we are not doing right, or we're not doing appropriately, however is the English is, do you understand, in regards to dignity of labor? Do you think there is a gap that is still to be filled? What exactly do you understand, or do you wish and want that it should be done better for dignity of labor to be recognized in Nigeria? Let's hear your contribution while we keep up the conversation. And if you also have a question for my guest, feel free to bring it on. He will answer your question. All right, so let's head into the conversation straight away. Right now, let's talk about the mindset. All this society where some jobs are seen as prestigious while others are looked down upon, and in some cases we tend to celebrate the office worker but ignore the refuse collector who keeps our environment clean. What do you have to say about this? Do you think this mindset is improving us, or do you think it's killing our potential as a nation?
Thank you very much. So when we talk about the mindset, right, this is the crux of the matter, the heart of the issue entirely. Like quickly highlighted, we elevate, respect, and honor certain professionals or certain individuals by virtue of what they do over other people, and this is with the root cause of a lot of problem we have. So because the society respects let's say someone who works in the office more than someone who owns a business, or
a refuse collector,
or a plumber. And this is where we have a lot of problem. And that mindset needs to be changed. That needs to be fixed. That is the essence of, the Constitution. We believe they had foresight. The drafters of the Constitution of this country had a foresight enough to look into the future and understand that everybody has an important role to play, regardless of what they do. So that we should stop attaching that level of importance to certain job description. I am as important as any person who works in the office, or a cleaner is as important as every other person. A plumber is as important. Let's look at
as much as it put foods on your table.
Exactly, that is what dignity of labor is talking about.
That's it.
Let's look at the job of the plumber, for instance. The toilets or the restrooms we have in our homes are very integral parts of our well-being, of our hygiene, of our...
Some of us don't even wash it with our hands. We must look for gloves and all of that to put in your hands before you can wash where you are using.
Exactly. So a plumber is somebody who, of course, comes to fix or make sure that everything is working well, the drainage connecting the pipes, everything is working, the water is running as it should, and all of those things. Now, take for instance, let's not go into the toilet aspect. We might get a little bit unsavory. Let's go to the kitchen for that's very familiar now. You are cooking and you wash, do the dishes.
Maybe veggies.
Thank you very much.
And it's not drilling. The water is not going out.
Exactly. Now, who do you need to fix that? It's a plumber. Let's say you are even like an office worker, somebody who goes to the office, sits behind a desk on the system all day, wears bougie clothes, doesn't put his hand in dirt, and you are back home and your plumbing machine and the drainage in your kitchen is not working.
It's not working.
You call. That's how important it is. If they do not get those things fixed, you cannot use it.
You can't
cannot
use it.
Your restroom. The
It
water
will be
running
a
in the
total
shower.
mess.
You cannot make use of it. That is one of the. That is why we have to look at these things differently. Every of these persons, so long as it is honest work, so long as it is a legitimate means of livelihood, it deserves as much respect and should not be looked down on. That is one of the things that should form the basis of our culture in the country.
Yeah.
It will make you treat that person better. It will make you respect that person better. That person, interestingly, has children. For instance, they have families to feed. They are raising someone somewhere in school.
Yeah.
They are taking care of their parents somewhere. They are footing the bills for somebody. This is a means of livelihood and deserves as much respect. When you respect these people, or when you respect people's or work, what they do, that is what we talk. That is what is described as dignity of labor. You respect it. Yeah.
All right, the studio number is 090-735-0044 or 090-8766-8888. Reach us via WhatsApp. Send us WhatsApp messages and voice note to the number 090-9705-445 and 0. What do you think can be done? What do you think can be done to improve dignity of labor or to respect dignity of labor in Nigeria? Let's hear you. 09073530044. Let's go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll keep up this conversation. Don't touch that dial. This is Eagles 102.3, your radio experience you can count on. And don't forget that you can join the live stream on Facebook and YouTube. Eagles FM Abuja. Holy Ray is in the studio.
Hello, Nigeria. Hello, Africa. Do you want to work in the healthcare sector? Do you want to be a trained, certified nursing assistant, medical assistant, or caregiver? If yes, then register to enroll for Push Africa's one-year diploma in certified nursing assistance training happening at the African University College of Science and Technology, Abuja. Targeted trainees are unemployed graduates, O-level or ordinary diploma graduates, or anyone interested in working as a support worker in the healthcare sector. For details, log on to www.pushafrica.org or WhatsApp 080-339-42015, 080-339-42015. For registration, pick up application form at our partner radio stations or visit the reception at the African University of Science and Technology, Abuja.
Things they happen for our community, eh?
Now I can recoup back all the money I have spent on this annoying family.
Hey, yeah, that one my own don't finish.
My dear, let's go and greet them, okay?
Hey! Join Media Coalition and Awareness to hold trafficking, MICAS, on I Wish I Knew radio drama and program every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Join us to kick human trafficking out of our society. I Wish I Knew radio drama and program is brought to you by MICAS and funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Welcome back. This is Eagles 102.3, your radio experience you can count on. My name is Holy Ray, and in case you're just joining us today, we are having a conversation about dignity of labor, and I'm having this conversation with our guest from Generation for Societal Change and Dignity of Labor. Of course, we understand that as far as human being coexist, everybody must have something that is doing, but whatever and whichever field you have chosen to be your area of perfection, you deserve to be respected. And of course, it goes across a lot of areas, because I work as a media personality. You have we have people who work as teachers. We have paramedics from the medical area. We have a lot of jobs. We have farmers, we have plumbers, we have electricians, we have mechanics, engineers. We have a lot, and in all different parastatals, private sectors, and all of that. But whatever you are doing, you deserve to be respected and you deserve to be valued. And that is what we are having this conversation today. And my guest in the studio is Ugo. Mr. Ugo Joseph is in the studio already. Welcome back to this segment of the show. All right, now let's look at some of those areas in respecting dignity of labor. Because from what you had explained, it is obvious that our mindset towards each other's work or whatever we do is really not helping us to grow as a nation. In what aspect do you think that is conflicting with us as a nation, as individual?
First off, we have a constitution that prescribes, the way we should be, the values that are very important to us. So in one of those regards, we are going against, we are literally working against what we are meant, the values we are meant to live by, which is one of them being having there should be dignity in labor. And that is one of the areas. That means we do not have respect for our core values if we go against it. I just want to say that our constitution enshrines dignity of labor as a national ethic, and it's calling there is a requirement for a fundamental shift, right? One of them is what we should do is that. One, we should treat every worker with respect. The driver, to your domestic staff, to your office employees and colleagues, treat everybody with respect.
Everybody with respect.
Some people have domestic staff and they curse and they curse and they call out very unprintable names
on them.
Another human being.
You can say that again.
And so it is a very, very bad culture, and you cannot.
We can't even grow that, actually.
And you raise children seeing these things, and they think that is how people should be treated. And that is where you have people who now say, "No, I can't be a domestic. No, I can't be a gatesman. No, I can't be a plumber. Oh no, I can't," because they've seen how dehumanizing, the below standard of treatment these people are receiving from their employers. Also, we should teach our children that honest work is honorable work. That is why somebody would rather steal than work, because they feel like there are certain jobs it's beneath me. I can't do that.
I can't do that.
No, so everybody wants to look for an alternative means of livelihood. So, but when we raise people to understand that there is honor, when you treat there is honor in what you do, so long as it is honest, it is legal, they should. And also we should learn to support local artisans and service providers. The man who fixes your generator when it is bad, services your generator. You talked about the electricity problem. The carpenter who comes to fix
if that guy hadn't come, I wouldn't know what to do. It's obviously not my field.
Exactly. And we should recognize and support their work, right? And by supporting, give them jobs when you know that they are capable of carrying out those jobs. Allow them to do those things. And then as an individual, refuse on your own end to participate in job discrimination and disrespect. So I am sitting in an office and somebody is talking about their domestic staff in a very dehumanizing and degrading manner. I play my role by saying no, I can't say that.
You don't do that.
You don't say that. You don't. This is a human being. Remind them, because sometimes it's how these people have been raised.
That's how they perceive.
So these are the little ways, the things you can do to uphold the constitutional
Yes.
values that we have.
Okay, so now still talking about that, you've already, mentioned some of the questions I wanted to even ask you already, because I know that there are a lot of persons who have a problem. It's just in them. They have a problem respecting other people's work. They feel like what you're doing is not in their class and all of that. But now let's look at some of the challenges that we face. That is constitutional principle, that we still battle with. What are other challenges that you think we face?
Okay, other challenges that we face as a result of despite the presence of this
Yes.
principle is that we already mentioned the social discrimination based on occupation. You don't respect certain people because of what they do, and that is a challenge that we are facing. Another thing is parents. They keep pushing their children from blue collar jobs because that's the name it's called now. You see the classification and the division and all of that.
Yeah.
Now, parents, will push their children away from jobs that are considered we call them blue collar jobs, just jobs that will get your hands dirty, just skilled work, and it is wrong, right? As long as we keep pushing children or people to study medicine, study law, be an engineer, there's more honor, there's more respect.
Yeah.
As long as you keep doing that, we will keep having a problem. We will keep having a problem. And another thing is that another challenge that we are facing in that regard is how it is that people are also supporting discrimination, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and then people as a result of these things, right, you've even understood that some people are leaving this country to be caregivers in other countries.
Definitely, and over here in Nigeria, they wouldn't want to do that
because
of how we perceive it.
Exactly.
And how we look down on that field here in Nigeria. Because me now, as a person, for instance, maybe you have an old parent, and you're like, okay, my parents are old, and I need someone younger to stay with them and help take care of them.
Exactly.
Even if the salary is going to be something equivalent to what they receive over there, they wouldn't do that because they're going to feel like, oh, so you now feel you are paying me salary, to work for you. Who are you? All those kind of things. But Jan, let's look at, okay, for instance, let's say all of this is put in place. Let's say we respect each other's work and all of that, and we also respect our domestic staff, like you have said earlier. In short, with this one, right, I am going to still call out the phone numbers because I know that you that is listening to me, one way or the other, you have failed or make this sort of mistake one day. You had disrespected someone because of what they do or because of the kind of work they do. You had turned down someone's proposal because you feel like, no, your kind of job is not my thing. But let's know how you did that and why did you do that. Okay, if you want to share, 090-7353-0044 or 090-8766-8888. Send me a WhatsApp message to 09097054450. So back to you, my guest. So let's say all of this input is put in place now, and we now see ourselves, we can coexist. I respect your work, you respect me, even if you work in the mall. You know what I mean by in the mall? Because so wherever you choose to work, I have to respect that okay, this is what you are doing and is putting food on your table. That's the most important thing, actually, in as much as you're not in the streets, you're not begging, you're fending for yourself. So now let's say if all of that is put in place, what do you think we as a nation will achieve, talking about the national transformation now?
We would achieve a country where everybody respects everybody's work.
Okay.
And you will now see there will be an appreciation in the value of those services people offer.
Okay.
Why do you think that a domestic staff is paid a certain amount of money?
Yeah.
They cannot ask for a certain amount of money. They cannot even dare to imagine. Let's say there's like an interview of a, you want to.
And they're asking for like 200K.
You'll be like that you are doing what? That we're giving 200K.
For it.
Thank you. But by the time we begin to respect each of these jobs,
and do you know that one thing we don't know, Mr. Ogu, is that domestic chores is the most difficult work to do.
As important
as easy as it looks, right?
It looks, it is the classification of thing that we do
Yeah.
now. So by the time we begin to give or accord the respect that these jobs deserve, you will see that the value it will
begin to appreciate.
Yes, you will be able to. You who employs a domestic staff, you will know the value of paying a domestic staff and how much you pay them, right? And somebody who works as a domestic staff will earn more, because there is the world or the society now views what they do as important. So you will be able to pay 300, 400, 500K, depending on the kind of place where they have to work. You understand? And it will bridge a gap of it will bridge a gap of what is it called, unemployment, right?
Absolutely.
And the skill work, these things, there will be appreciation. The labor in Nigeria is said to be very cheap because you can you will be pricing. But these are people who maybe because of circumstances of life they can't get the so-called white-collar jobs because they can't. But no, that they can't. That a person was born in a family where they can't afford to pay for their tuition in the university or pursue a postgraduate program does not mean they are less of human beings, does not mean they do not deserve to work in the society and be paid. And it does not mean they should not raise families. That doesn't mean they cannot even send their own children to school. But how will they be able to do that if the society we live in does not give them an equal fighting chance? And this begins by appreciating what they do, paying them because some of these jobs are difficult. But because it gets your hand messy and everybody avoids it. If all of us decide to do white collar job, I go do for real.
Who go fix your bathroom? Who is gonna fix your restroom? I mean, your kitchen,
Exactly.
your cooking utensils, whatever. Who is going to fix your cabinet? Because those kitchen cabinet, somebody came to fix those cupboard. Who is going to?
If your car breaks down,
who is going to work on your car?
Because you cannot know it. You cannot know all. You cannot do all. Some people say they can know all, but I mean,
go easy, go possible.
Thank you.
Rara,
It's
not possible.
These are everybody playing their part.
Yes.
It's what keeps the house running. If you are let's say a family person or a business person, you barely have time to cook, for instance, to clean the house. Doesn't mean you have to live in a dirty, filthy house.
At all.
You get a domestic staff, you pay
that can
them
be doing that.
They've saved you time, energy, stress. You are paying them for they are bringing value. Now you'll be able to focus. You'll be able to
and concentrate on other things that you are doing,
and you become more productive because it is. I mean, it's clear when you are in a very clean environment, you will be able to function more efficiently or properly and all of that. When you have someone to service your car, you can drive safely to wherever you are going to without your car.
You'll be comfortable driving because you know that someone who is experienced has touched the car, so you can drive.
When you have somebody selling tomato and pepper in the market, you can now. That is when you can go to the market and buy it. If nobody, when you have somebody who is farming, that is when you have food to eat. If you do not have each of these persons, these are the wheels
it's definitely going to be leaving those loopholes.
So yes.
All right. So moving forward, right? I see that it is also in our constitution, right? And this is talking about it from section 23. This makes a dignity of labor part of our national identity. So now, let's look at how it is connected. How is it linked to the constitution?
Okay, it is when we talk about a people, let me use an example.
Okay.
Some persons will say, "Oh, in my family, we are known to be very smart people.
Okay.
Or in my family, we are known to be tall. Let's just use the genetic
Yeah.
thing. Oh, in my family, we are known to be light skinned. We are known to be tall. Oh, that's what
Okay.
we are known for. That's like an identity. Now, when we talk about what these national ethics, right, do for us, it should be what you should be known as a Nigerian wherever you go to in the world, right? So by the time you refuse, or if you do not have, or if you refuse to imbibe this value, you do not wear the identity of a true Nigerian. You're not a true Nigerian.
So you can see that for you to be a true Nigerian,
You
have to
will
make sure-
yes, there should be respect for every honest work, that is dignity in labor. Appreciate everybody's work. Recognize the role they play in keeping the society running, because that is what keeps our society going seamlessly. If somebody, if everything is good, won't you be happy that everybody's
definitely
happy?
you will.
Exactly. We have less things to worry about. We
Yeah.
now know that our problem is other things.
Other things are
Yeah.
not that one, and I
Yeah.
love the fact that you explain vividly about discipline, self-reliance, social justice, patriotism, and these are some of those things that we always overlook. These areas are treated not. We treat them with so much how do I put it now, lack of concern.
Yeah.
And we don't put them into cognizance that this is what we need to treat other persons right. We need to do the right thing. All right. Now the thing is that when you have a domestic staff, you have other people that work for you, your domestic staff and your biological children now.
Right.
I feel like there shouldn't be any difference from them. The only difference is that your kids are bearing your name, your surname, but these are your staff. But so many of them, when you see them even in the public places like church, I bet you, my brother, you can identify that this one is not the real child of this person. From their appearance alone, you will just know. We treat these people with so much levity, and we forget that these are the main people that are keeping your house, your office, your company moving forward. And it is very, very, very wrong that we do that.
I just sorry. Let me just say
Yeah.
something there very quickly. I think the narrative in Nigeria when we talk about domestic staff, it always points to that girl or boy that an old auntie in the village or an uncle that cannot who sent to somebody in the city to
Yes.
raise and sent to school in exchange. That is, in fact, that is child labor. Let's not even go there. That one is an advanced. That one is an entirely different conversation, right? Domestic staffs should be people who are the same way you apply for a job, right?
Yeah.
In a firm, in an office. It's the same way people should, they should be of adult age. They
Yeah.
should be constitutionally recognized as adults, right? So, as a result of this, we should respect, yes, I understand when you talked about sense to, relative to live with them, and it's sad and appalling to see that, we do that to other people. And sometimes it makes you question the kind of heart some of us have. God will help us. Because you should be able to recognize this is another human being. I think if you take a minute and look at it this way, this is also a human being. It would inform how you treat, how you speak, what you do to
Absolutely.
them. When you do to them, some people will be like, it is raining, go and wash clothes outside. It is sad.
As if that is not somebody's child. All right, let's get your final thought. We don't have time on our side, because everyone has to put their hands on deck to make sure that we have that serene environment that we all want to coexist without stress. You've got to respect my work, and I've got to respect your job.
All right. The thing I would say here is that, in conclusion, we would have a country that is totally transformed, where if we begin to have parents who drive their children to pursue honest professions other than making money quickly, you have less social vices, kidnapping, robbery, and fraudsters, cyber crimes, and all of that.
All
We would
right.
have a country that will have less of that to grapple with.
Thank
Again,
you.
we also have we would experience a country where entrepreneurs are celebrated for their hard work, regardless of the industry they are in. Workers are respected for their contribution, regardless, not judged by their occupation,
Yes.
and all of that. And then it is also one of the national core values we have in the constitution. You have discipline, you have self-reliance, we have social justice, we have patriotism, we also have dignity
Of labor.
It's one of the
Thank you so
ministerial
much,
identities as
Mr.
Nigerian.
Ugo.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And in case you're just joining us, we have been having a conversation today. We are talking about dignity of labor. And talking about dignity of labor, we looked at various angles and areas where we as individuals don't even respect other people's opinion as far as dignity of labor is concerned. But today, talking with Ugo Joseph, we've learned that it's very important that no matter what this person decides to do or profession, you've got to respect their profession, be it engineer, mechanic, NEPA, electricity staff, whatever they do, even if it's as a plumber. All you need to do is respect their office just the same way they respect you. Okay, so starting today, let's make dignity of labor more constitutional. All right, let's make it more lively. Let's make it a reality. And of course, to you that is working, your labor matters. Your contribution builds our nation. So hold your head up high. Whatever you do, you're a teacher, you're a clerk, whatever you do, and to the employers, fair wages and respect aren't optional, they're rational requirement. And to you, our loving, darling parent, guide your children towards their talents, not away from honest work. Some of you want quick money, so mommy, I want to be a civic engineer. No, it's going to take time. I want to be an artist, musician. No, they don't get money. Allow them, just guide them on the right path, okay? And to our leaders and our policymakers, create policies that honor all workers and provide opportunities for